turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Revo steps up, and he will be able to find a second with a DBS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7, and they will be able to do so. A chicken dinner in the penultimate match. That's how you lock your spot down.
There's the DBS master at work. Gets a... Okay.
How did he dance?
Every bullet dodged.
How did he dance out of the way of that one? Goodness me. It's not even... He does go down, but it's not even Jafar who clocks it. I don't think, unless I missaw that one on the Elim feed. Oh, it might have been, actually. He's the only person around, it seems. Yeah, so Poser, to be fair, yeah, he was going down there. He should have gone down a lot earlier, and maybe should have been flushed, but a little bit of a misspray there. Does mean that Kara have to go for a rescue mission, though. Laying him, set him as a trap.
I mean, Amir's moving up with the nade, and it's a really easy post in as well, considering no...
Ulf as well on that northern side. Reglimkaya and Ulf both trying to earn as many points as they can. Meanwhile, on the inside of town, it's getting a little bit rough in the streets here as Doc steps out down the alleyway. And Ragnar... I mean, we saw Jafar whiff a spray earlier, so maybe they're not feeling so hot. And look at QXZ as well up on the high ground for DRX. Could potentially be a third party there. Spider-Man's playing in Los Leones. Oh, no. Hang on a minute. Take that back.
Which is why it hasn't really dropped down to where we expected the points cutoff to be in 7th.
Wait, who said that?
That's our boss.
Oh, yeah, no. The analysis I did was only with tournaments that used Rondo specifically with this map rotation. So it is still...
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. Fine. All right. Well, let's get stuck into Los Leones because it seems like DRX and Geek both are as well. APG, they still keep getting a point or two here and there, Reefers.
They're not making it, John.
They found... Well, they're definitely not making it, Blank. As Geek aren't going to be able to find the first peak. They do a lot of damage in the drop down. He looks for it. He's going to be put to sleep there. Nerzed looks to try and challenge up the stairs, but he can't connect.
They're not making it.
They're not going to make it, Blank. It's not happening.
They're not going to make it, okay? We're going to calm down right now because APG is definitely not getting in. All right?
It's not happening. Look.
They're not getting in. Like, even if they get these nades, they're not getting in.
That's just like... Okay, there we go. Right, Virtus.Pro. Giving us a little bit of a break there. A little bit of a breather. But Reefus and Doc still want more. They're still chewing. See what they can find. In the meantime, OG and GS, the fight is popping off. We saw this established before. It looks like Aru wasn't able to regroup and was taken down in the meantime. So it's only WizGod and AKOP on the inside as GS Sharks swarm around the outside. They need the harpoons out. They aren't going to be able to find it for one. And the second as well looks good. They're turning the tides here now into a 1 versus 1. It's AKOP versus Jafar. The clutch maestro himself needs to come up big for the squad. 3 players to pick back up for GS, and AKOP's on the corner. He got some healing done with the auto shotty. Jafar's got one of his own, and he turns the corner onto the inside of the building. The vault, a classic for Jafar, and WizGod begging to be picked back up, but he doesn't have the time. AKOP with the pin on the nade over in to Jafar's feet. He sends it through, and OG stands strong. 2 players survive. How much further can they go?
Lovely bouncer on that one. And OG will get up at least one of their players here. Backage will be useful, but you got to get up to the building first. That's the difficulty.
Certainly will be tricky. Ooh, a knock over to DX Xavier out on the west side. Of course, Alpha 7 and DX Xavier pretty neck and neck here. Both looking to solidify their position. 5th and 6th on the tables. Paragen tries to step forwards, but Revo has the corner, has the shutdown as well. Carrillo needs to heal, so does Revo. And now the rest of DX Xavier need to strike, but where are they? Nate on the upstairs, Lambor's repositioning, and they are going to get overwhelmed if they don't do something soon. Brisau's cut off a little bit from Obscure, but they need to find more now, Blank.
That they do. And I mean, for the time being, this is looking very rough for DX Xavier. Lambor seems to just be sending away, which is the smart decision here, I think. I'm pretty sure for DX Xavier, they realize all is lost in the building. Get Lambor away, potentially get a couple more points, because that's all DX Xavier really needs.
Couple more might do it. Nate goes down. Alpha 7 want to secure themselves that 110, and they push themselves over that boundary that we were talking about towards the start of the tournament. A 7th place still sits at 105. Thunder Talk now challenging Mad Bulls on the north side. as they have taken that fight to them, but they don't need to. With the circle popping down to the south, they could disengage with that knock. Now might be the best time, but they've lost one of their own to a response nade from Tulika.
Good stuff from Thunder Talk. 3v4 here going fairly well, but there is a shot from off in the distance from CEO, who continues to burn through teams. AJ barely getting away from that one. Joker able to pick up one elimination. CEO still going. Sending shots over.
Wowee. In the meantime, Thunder Talk going to crash on in. They're going to get away from the ridge line, but it's not going to be pretty inside the longhouse there. Steps out into the crossfire. Pusher looks for more, and Thunder Talk fall. They will be eliminated here, and the Mad Bulls, again, looking to continue that solidification process. Arena now crashing in to try and third party, but once more, they're just too late.
Yeah, which friend nades in. I think for Thunder, it's an unfortunate situation where they're forced to go in the building far before they're ready for it. Carol continues to be a nuisance on the back end of this fight with some great shots and some. I think for the rotations from Kara's side, they are incredibly good at cutting off teams of where they want to go and just causing these big problems. I think the speed at which they rotate off into new angles and the communication between those angles is very, very good. M249 barking over towards the Mad Bulls right now. Flip last remaining inside the building is getting low very quickly as stage 5 will hurt.
He has to step out from behind this truck at some point or other, and immediately he's torn to pieces. Question is, who got the point there? Looks like CEO was the one to snaffle that away. They are going to have a tough time, and again, into the vehicle. The smokes are there. Have they got the cover to make the dash? WizGod is down. AKOP, there's no chance he's slowing. And he will survive, but for how much longer? Again, just having to tuck away in these corners as the nades pour in from the Wolves. That bounce could have been the end of him, but will be able to get this first aid off, you'd imagine.
Yeah, has some more meds to work with. Sticky Bomb won't quite take him down. We'll stim up, try to get back at the 100 HP as he can survive a nade that comes his way. Yeah, just start stepping their way in, trying to get in those placement points. So at this point, it would take a miraculous game. Last match, I mean, for DXAV being a 105, there's a possibility it's 20 points, right? And a chicken dinner, and OG could pull that off.
Certainly is possible, but a fleeting possibility at best. The nades start to bombard out and take points away from the lobby, get away from teams that need them. Put them in R8's pocket, why not? Battle for the top of the tables rages on, and R8 do not want to let it slide. Kara denied access. They had it for a moment. R8 being nice on that front, but no, they'll take it back into control. 139 now, neck and neck. R8 win that tiebreaker. DRX crashing in, and it's all up to AKOP to stay alive.
Nice.
Shuts him down. No dice on that push there. DRX only dribs and drabs and will be shut down.
Yeah, another point for AKOP here. Definitely been real clutch for OG.
Down for a knock as Regnum Kaya do have to slow down a little bit. Regnum Kaya up to 3 elims now off in the distance. Dead Wolf getting knocked and flashed to Ulf on their high ground hilltop position that they've held for a while now. Ulf really looking to solidify up in those top 7, up to 109 at this point.
Yeah, they're getting further into the...
AKOP wants to spot the run out, maybe get a flush or 2 if he can. That would be a successful salvage. Regnum Kaya slam down the hill and immediately into the meat grinder. That should be it. That should be them done and dusted. No chance really of them getting into 7th place on the next match. It's just too tall of an order.
AKOP gets 2 on the nade.
Okay.
Over towards Wolves.
Wait, what?
Coops goes down. Did he take them out solo? I think he did.
It came up on the picture-in-picture. I wasn't ready for it, but oh my goodness me. AKOP now has Ketch to deal with. He's heard the chicanery around the zone, and Ulf are actually putting a lot of people over in this area. AKOP darting, dashing. More points than we thought he'd get, and laddering up another place. 7 elims, Blank. That's going to draw them up on 90 points. That's 15 points behind the bubble right now. That is so doable.
Incredible stuff. I mean, and it just shows that OG can.
Alpha 7 and Ulf will have done enough to beach secure now. No one really going to be able to chase, and it's one spot up for grabs at this point going into our final match.
The arena, some more shots of Murray will go down as Ulf once again is just pumping points and
more impossible as time goes on. Virtus.Pro looking to try and take down Ulf, though, and that might make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing if Ulf go down, but they're not going to go down without a fight. Surely not, but Catch now the last to stand as they do get torn apart. Of course, it's R8 chiming in, now up on 145 points blank. They are starting to accelerate away from that top pack that's been neck and neck for quite a while, and Ulf go down. 115 locked in on the points tallies there. Alpha 7 looking to continue their ascent as well, closer to that 120 safety zone.
I mean, all right, they have gone from strength to strength in the past. I mean, I remember when this team felt like a bit of a footnote in some of the tournaments way back when, but they have just stayed persistent within the scene, and coming out now just swinging like this is truly incredible work. Ida will go down to Malloy off a nice nade, but a nade doesn't quite bubble just over the top towards Malloy to get the re-knock. More damage over the top now. These air bursts are pretty good though coming through from VP. That should be the finish on at least one, leaving just Marth now alive behind the rock.
Pushes up, needs to get the heal first. Alpha 7 capitalizing. This should be an Alpha 7 chicken dinner. Virtus.Pro crammed into a corner here. The numbers advantage is there. Aragon able to do the rest of the damage necessary to take down R8. And maybe Virtus.Pro could turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Revo steps up, and he will be able to find the first. A second with a DBS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7, and they will be able to do so. A chicken dinner in the penultimate match. That's how you lock your spot down.
There's the DBS master at work, gets a knock and then a massive amount of damage onto the next player as well. And for Alpha 7, that's going to secure them in. And you can see that it's the hunger from this team. It seems to be back. There's been some switch outs.